You know, a lot of people talk about the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? The enemy of your enemy is your friend. It's not necessarily true. Let me give you an example. I was locked up with a baby killer. Dude killed his baby. It was a situation where we were locked up in solitary, right? Basically solitary. They was not letting us out the dorms, understaffed, whatever BS they was giving us. It was basically maximum security on a minimum security prison, right? So, because they're not letting you out the rooms, dog. So anyway, an example of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You got to know where to draw the line with that, because some people will agree that that's absolutely true. I don't see that as an absolute, because here's the thing. We're locked up with a baby killer. Now, I'm going home, right? So I'm not about to do anything to get more charges, get more time. That's just stupid. If these other dudes on the rock, they're not enforcing certain jail politics, prison politics, you know, on the one end, if I was looking at more time, I probably would be the guy to do it, honestly. But because I'm not, I got to ask the question, who am I to be enforcing it? If these dudes is going to be housed with this man, and he wasn't the only scumbag there, but that was one of them. It's like, if you're going to be housed with this man and y'all ain't willing to put in no work, I'm not about to be doing it for y'all, because y'all really don't know how to. They're gelling, they're cooling it though. And I'm not saying that they don't know how to jail. I'm not saying that real gelling, doing real prison time is violence. I'm just saying that there are certain laws that come with it. And when you come across certain charges, yeah, any real, I don't want to say criminal, but anybody that stands for something, even if you are a criminal, you're not going to let certain things slide, bro. You're going to get rid of that problem, or they're going to get rid of themselves. You can leave. You know what I mean? But in these situations, in this situation, this guy remained on the block, right? Nobody touched him. Got lucky, bro. He was real blessed. But anyway, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So check it. They locked us down for like 2 weeks straight. We finally started getting tired of it. So people were slowly saying, towels up, right? Letting them know that we about to block the doors. It took about an hour to get everybody riled up, right? Because at first it starts with an idea. So somebody's putting an idea out there. They say it a couple times. That idea becomes powerful enough that the rest of us are feeling this idea. Like, yeah, we are putting the towels up. Like, y'all let us out or we're blocking y'all vision. You know what I'm saying? They tried to threaten everybody. We'll throw you all in the hole, yada, yada, yada. They ended up losing that war because y'all depths is out of shape. And some of these dudes on this rock is way bigger than me. And y'all ain't got enough people that can fit in these small cells that can actually subdue this man without taking punishment first. You know what I'm saying? So they weren't going to put themselves at risk because they realized that we were willing to get violent and fight back. So they ended up letting us out the room. But here's the thing. Before they did that, the guy that killed his baby, along with a couple other scumbags that I don't condone, they were fighting for our cause too. You can hear them yelling through the door, you know, let us out. Y'all want us to take the towels down? Let us out. You know, give us an hour, whatever y'all got to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, it puts a different perspective of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. See, if we would have took this dude out or marked his face up, scarred him in a way that you can't repair, he might not have been willing to fight for our cause. He might have sat on his thumbs. You know what I'm saying? But because nobody touched him, he rose up to the occasion and joined the fight with us. Is he still weak? Yes. Can he win in the fade? No. He's soft. He's weak. He's fat. You know he ain't a fighter. He's a predator. He hurt a baby. You know what I'm saying? He's a hyena. We're wolves and lions. It's not the same caliber, bro. So, but in that moment, he found his balls. And in that moment, he stood for something that the rest of us all was standing for. So you got to, it puts, God gave me a different perspective of, dang, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. It's like, I don't see this guy as a friend, but I was able to, and I don't have respect for him, but I respect the cause that he was able to acknowledge benefited not just himself, but everybody else there. The fact that he was able to remove himself from his mental illness long enough to be sensible and human in that moment, I do respect the cause, but I don't respect the man that was doing that for the cause. I can't respect somebody who could unalive and hurt their own baby. That's just weird to me. It's weird. It's weird. Like, I literally don't comprehend certain levels of crime because it's not in me to do so. So having said that, I want y'all to understand that sometimes the person that you might be plotting on life or plotting on physically changing their biology in some way that's harmful to them, sometimes those same people be fighting for the cause that you fighting for. Seriously. Sometimes those same people that you consider scumbags that have your back. There's levels to it. Sometimes the same scumbag that's a scumbag in society, and he is, can actually be a stand-up inmate in prison. You see what I'm saying? It's levels, though. That does not mean he's forgiven, he's absolved, and welcomed back into society. But it does mean that he has the potential to be a stand-up inmate, even though he can never fit in regular society. It's levels to thinking, bro. It's levels to perception. And really, the perception changes depending on your circumstances and situation. My perspective of him will never change, but the circumstances in the situation was able to shift my perspective long enough to allow him to fight for the same cause that I'm willing to bleed for as well. Freedom. You see what I'm saying? It's very interesting. The point of this is, don't be so judgmental to people. And I'm not saying, listen, baby killers, women that, you know, guys that hurt women, you know, anybody that's a violator of a sexual manner, any of these types of crimes, they're not okay. You should be punished harshly, painfully. You know what I'm saying? And with the same level of demonism that you brought into that person's spirit and life through your actions. That's what I feel. It's balance. It's karma. But at the same token, though, you have to still acknowledge that sometimes the enemy of your enemy ain't your friend, but they are the best that you got. It's the best resource and asset that you have. It does not mean that they're an associate or a friend, but it does mean that they can become an asset. Sometimes the person that you find disgusting can actually be essential to you and your cause. Keep that in mind. Sometimes, you know, it's not always smart to write people off, even though they deserve it. Sometimes it's not always smart. And I'm not saying trust your enemies, let them in your kingdom, eat dinner with them, dine with these enemies. I'm saying be reasonable. Be able to budge in your blueprint and your principles when you see that the budging is going to get you the end result that you're actually wishing for. You got to be flexible. Not so flexible that you're corrupt, but flexible that you can get the job done. That's God. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. God can use any of it. We're all sinful creatures. And when you're really thinking about God's ability to transform a man or a woman from a sinful creature to something more holy and righteous, this is immense power. WWJD, what would Jesus do? Just like Jesus is willing to love me and all of you, we have to be able to extend, if not necessarily pure love to a person who might be broken, at the very least patience. At the very least patience, bro. To be patient long enough to see a different end result versus to move your hand and act in urgency out of this emotion and perception in that moment of time. Because perception can change with your circumstances and situation. I just wanted to give y'all that game.